Howdy, folks. Welcome to another action-packed episode of Way Out Willard's Wild World of Motorsports.
You know, back in the 60s, a guy showed up at Lions Drag Strip, and his name was Leonard Wood. And he came in with a 40 Willys, and he had Fred Stone and Doug Cookie Cook as the driver. And they set that place on fire that day, and it's kind of started the A-gas wars, the A-gas era of drag racing. And, of course, you remember how we used to watch them go up and down the track. In Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, they were awesome. And I mean, guys like Jack Merkel, the Hill brothers, the Kohler brothers, the Scusa brothers, the Malicote brothers, you know, everybody. K.S. Pittman, Stonewoods and Cook, man, I'll tell you, those guys were out for blood. And that's, remember the cam wars?
Oh, absolutely.
The Engel cam and Escuderian cam wars. So
when you say Stonewoods and Cook, the first thing that pops into my head is the Willys.
Yeah, it's the Willys, absolutely.
Willys gasser.
Yeah, and that car made them guys famous.
I'd like to introduce you to Floyd Werline, and he has this beautiful 1940 Willys. How you doing? I'm Willard. This is Rick Shepard.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having us here.
And Floyd, how did you find this beautiful car?
I got to give most credit to Greg West, a friend of mine from Kenosha. He worked with this gentleman for many years. This fellow had the car since 1967 sitting in his garage, and I got to see it a while back, and one thing led to another, and I'd made an offer, and a year later he called me and said, or called my friend, said that he'd thinking about selling it. So that's how I ended up with it.
Wow.
I was very fortunate because it was an uncut car, 100% steel car, and all things, you know, items were there. I didn't need to look for nothing.
Wow, it is amazing. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I got it home and went through a bunch of things, and a friend of mine and Jack Clam done all the metal work. We took it apart. I had some friends help me disassemble it. Gentleman in Milwaukee done all the structural work, Jim Snyder. I had it painted. I had Frame Up do some wiring for me and run some lines. It's got a ZZ4 Vortex fast burning head motor.
Hey.
700R. It's got a 57 Ford 9-inch. They have the nice housing, no bumps or nothing. They look like the old Pontiacs.
Bulletproof too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then I bought a new range center section, 31 splines with axle, aluminum dry shaft, all stainless exhaust,
So now it's
including the
really
mufflers.
bulletproof.
Yeah.
You know, and I finished up with the interior in Ogden top and trim down in Ogden, Chicago.
Unbelievable car.
How long from the day you brought it into the garage till the state it's in today, how many years?
I bought it the day after Memorial Day 2003, and in June of 2006 I rolled her out of the garage all done.
Nothing, no time at all. That's
No
pretty
time.
good.
Had it.
Well,
Yeah.
we could have been faster, but like when you go to the upholstery shop, you
Sure.
would have a waiting time,
Sure.
or a structural shop, or different things, you know.
Right.
Color is a Rival Blue Metallic. It's a 2003-2004 Chevrolet pickup
Really,
color.
no kidding.
And I wanted a blue one because I saw Alvin Pfeiffer's blue 41
Pfeiffer,
Willys running back in the 60s.
Sure.
I got it the day after Memorial Day of 2003 and picked it up. This here is just some more of the picture of the car, and I picked it up from the original title. We're bringing it from behind the house where it sat in the garage. It had blankets, and
And it's sat in the garage since 1965.
67. We're pushing it out of the driveway here. And this is where we're loading it. This is the owner right here that I bought it from. Well, as you can see, the car, it's got the stone guards on it yet. We got the car home. I left the hole in the metal where the crank come out, and as you see on the bumper, it has the hole and line there when they cranked them. You can see the interior with the seat, and you can see here it was also a green car.
So it's kind of like a rolled and pleated interior in there, huh, when you got it?
But it wasn't a true rolled and pleated interior.
A J.C. Whitney type, probably.
Exactly,
seat cover, huh?
that's basically it. So you can see the shifter here on the column and everything.
Paint job is unbelievable. Just look at how nice that body is.
The fenders, everything. I bought the rear fenders new, like I said, because they're 2 inches wider, but I have the stock ones. I did not need to go buy any metal for this car. I mean, the gauges are usually gone, the dash is gone.
Explain about the dashboard and the gauges that you have in there.
It's the stock dash, the stock gauges, the 40 gauges, and I sent those out to United Speedometer. They restore and do old gauges. They also give you the senders and everything, and they compute them together in a little harness, your gas, your oil, voltage, and water temperature. They send you the sender. Little dome light and back. Everything was there on the car. This one was in the fabrication shop in Brookfield. Transmission, the hump that was in there took that out. Firewall I had notched a little bit just to get the HEI distributor in. This is Jack Clam. He was looking at the car and the metal and that.
He was actually feeling the car.
He was feeling, yeah. He says, I can do this. This is just more shots when I was over at Jack Clam's.
Now your wife had her hands on this too, huh? Doing a lot of work too.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, yes, she did. A lot of hold this, hold that. Because when you're assembling any car, any nice stuff, two people is very helpful because scratching or that you don't see or dropping, very helpful, yes.
How can you tell the difference between a 40 and a 41 Willys? Because the body styles are basically the same.
They're very much the same. The big difference right here is 41 and 40. 40 has a two-piece grill. 41, they cut that out and it has a one-piece grill. The headlights rings are a little different. They're basically the same, but they got like a parking light in them. Then the strip here that runs up through here and over, it doesn't have a flying W, it's this Americar. And the windshield wipers will be down under the windshield. 40s and earlier were above. There's many of these cars, they find like a 37, 38, 39, the front ends were not popular.
Right.
So they will take a front end off a 40 or 41 four-door sedan or a pickup and put on there.
Right.
Now they're even getting hard to find. But a lot of guys say they have a 41 and you see them drive up and you see the windshield wiper post above the what you call them.
So it's a 40.
Then it's a 40.
Yeah.
Then if you look at your dashes, 41's got a different dash if they're in. Okay. And then the back bumper, if the back bumper's on, it'll say Americar. In the 41s, they went to the frame 2 inches wider. And if it's a stock car on the back, I don't know if I have a close-up here, the bumper brackets will come are notched out of the rear fender instead of the body because they moved 1 inch each side for the 2 inches.
No kidding. Wow.
If you'll see that. And then you'll see on a 41, if it's not messed with or fuel filler, will come out of the rear fender down on the bottom back, where 40 and early are still in the body between the trunk and the fender up there.
Okay.
And I don't run air conditioner, nothing like that, so it does sufficient on that.
Did you hear that, folks? He doesn't have an air conditioner.
The air conditioner is that vent cowl that you put your hand down and you push, and that's your air conditioner.
We'll show you that when we get outside with the car.
Compartment, I've kept the stock 40 latching system. That holds the hood up is all came from Willys. That's all the stock latching system and holding the hood open. As you can see, it's a small block Chevrolet. You'll see up here where you can open your hood cowl vent, which puts fresh air into the cabin. Firewall hasn't been cut or anything in it. Inner fenders have not been cut. Either side, that was quite common when guys used to drag race them, putting fender well headers in the car. This is where the VIN tag was, the original VIN tag on the cowl. Most of those are gone because the cowl was cut way back to here for larger motors and engine setback. Go here. This is the inside. I can show you the original Willys gauges that came from the factory. They've been redone and they are in use for the oil pressure, water, temperature. Inside it still has the ashtray in it, the glove box, the original rear view mirror, and other stuff.
Tell us about the steering.
The steering is an I Did It column. It's got like a Ferrari leather interior, headliner included. Also in the trunk, as we'll show you later. Interior was done in Chicago by Ogden Top and Trim.
And your shifter?
The shifter is a Lockhart, and my friend made the shifter plate. Frank Bell made the shifter plate. He's a retired tool and die maker. And he made other parts for the car also. Okay. This is the baggage tray back here. Most of those were cut out because of the motor setback. They had to move the seats back for the driver, so that was cut out on most of your cars for the drag strip. This is the trunk area. I'll show you. I kept it with the original trunk latches. Trunk area behind this board is our battery, our transmission for the windshield wipers. The top or the trunk was done with the same materials, the leather, as the interior was done. Kept the original gas neck filler, all the stops, and the hinge apparatus. Kept everything on the back, including bumper. The inside of the lights, I've had them converted to LEDs. And the bumper's chromed inside as well as the outside. The two posts here you see are for your positive and negative. In case for some reason you need to jump the car, it's easy to get at. Then it's got a 57 Ford 9-inch rear end. It's got a strange center section, strange axle, 31 spline. It's got aluminum dry shaft and still the old spring setup, stock suspension on the car. The gas tank is called Tanks. It's from a company called Tanks. It's polyurethane. It's 18 gallon. It's like a 41 to 48 Ford tank. Getting back to the trim on the car, it's all the trim that came from the factory. The grill, call these whiskers. On the deluxe cars, these three were on the deluxe. If it wasn't a deluxe, they weren't on. The 40 is the only year for the Flying W, what they call it. The grills are the old original ones. They're pot metal. The reproduction are stamped aluminum. I have the front bumper and brackets, that's all done, but I like the looks of it off. the car.
How about the headlights now too?
The headlights, rings, and everything are there. I have the turn signals inside of the headlights. One of the ways you can tell an original steel body car real fast from the reproduction glass cars are the door hinges here. On the reproduction ones, they are not there. They're all inside on different parts. The wheels are real wheels. They call them real rotter wheels now. They're made to look like the Halibrands. They're a sand cast, put in sand cast. They're not billet. They're polished inside and outside. There's 15 by 5s on the front and there's 15 by 8s on the rear. They're BF Goodrich TA tires. They're P285 15 on the rear.
What a day, Rick. Awesome drag racing action. I'd love to thank Floyd and Gene Werlein for showing us their beautiful toys that they have in their garage. Guys, thank you so much.
Appreciate all you've done.
Thank you, Rick.
Very much. Yep.
Everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Way Out Willard's Wild World of Motorsport.